Rivalry, but nevertheless, the Rockies and Mariners have some shared moments, shall we say, dating to 1997. There have been brushbacks and bombs, and some of the largest names in the game providing thrills. So what's in store with this latest chapter? Come and see.
Oh, he makes the grab. What a
lot of K in the big unit.
Welcome to the weekend and welcome to lower downtown Denver. The Rockies this weekend begin interleague play as they entertain the Seattle Mariners of Ichiro, now for more than a decade. And welcome upstairs. Good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. Yesterday, a tough day again at the office for the Colorado Rockies. They had a lead they could not hold. They fell 9-7 to Arizona. The pitching problems persist. They walked 9 in the game yesterday. Now 3 times over the last 10 days, they've walked 10 in a game, 10 in a game, and 9. And the manager, Jim Tracy, not at all pleased. He knows that has to change as they bring in Jeff Houston. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but you have to throw the ball over the plate. If they hit it over the wall, so be it.
Yeah, you can't defense a walk. I think that's the biggest thing that the young pitchers and old pitchers have to learn is you've got guys behind you. Let them help you out. Let them get you out of a situation that you've possibly gotten yourself into. And I think once you start to get more consistent starts where you get more consistent pitching with the strikes, that the defense will clean up. Your offense will be more consistent. And so it's a complete team thing, but it all starts on the hill.
It all starts on the hill. Alex White will go tonight. We'll talk about him in a moment. The Rockies and Mariners have met a bunch through the years, and the Mariners may be the right team to face the Rockies right now because they are not playing well on the road. They've lost 12 of their last 13. We'll take a closer look at the Seattle Mariners. I know you know one guy. We'll tell you about some of the others next. Kevin Millwood, who finished up last year in a Rockies uniform and performed very well for the Rockies in 9 starts. He's coming off his first win of the year. That was at Yankee Stadium a few days ago. Back upstairs with Jeff Houston. I'm Drew Goodman. The Seattle Mariners, and I think it's partially because of the ballpark and partially because they're playing so many young players, they are challenged to score.
Well, they are. I mean, the batting average is not very good. Runners in scoring position, that's not any good. When you're 14th out of 14 teams in on-base percentage, you're not going to be scoring a whole lot of runs. And as you mentioned, a lot of young guys, but the one constant in the Mariners lineup for a number of years now is Ichiro, but it's different this year for him because he's not hitting leadoff anymore. He had 1,200 starts in the leadoff position. This year he's hitting third for them, but he's still not doing the Ichiro numbers that you expect. But Dustin Ackley, people are saying, who's this young guy? Well, you know the name Steven Strasburg? Well, he was picked number 1. Number 2 was Dustin Ackley, and this guy can hit. He's got power. He's got good speed. He's learning how to lead off now because Ichiro, as I mentioned, is hitting third. And in the last 2 weeks or so, he's hitting about 350 hitting leadoff. So he's figuring that spot out.
He's figuring it out, and he's going to face an old buddy today because Alex White and Dustin Ackley played together at the University of North Carolina. Rockies trying to get well as interleague play begins. It's Colorado. It's Seattle. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota moving forward by CenturyLink. Fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Alex White and the Rockies getting ready for the Seattle Mariners. The Rockies, since 2006, have the best record among National League teams in interleague play. And what's amazing is, or maybe not, there are only 2 National League teams that even have a winning record against the American League over the last half dozen years. The New York Mets being the other.
Yeah, and you look last year, the American League beat the National League in interleague play 131 to 121. So the National League wants to try to change that up this year.
They do. That's Dustin Ackley, who Jeff was just singing the praises of. He is an outstanding young hitter. Here's the rest of the lineup for Eric Wedge, brought to you by Southwest.com. Good-looking Canadian center fielders, very athletic, Michael Saunders, and in the 3-hole, Ichiro. Then Kyle Seager will bat next. Justin Smoke, switch hitting big first baseman. John Jaso, veteran catcher. Mike Karp is in left field. And Brendan Ryan struggling with the bat. He'll play shortstop. And Alex White, an outstanding start at Petco. And he had a pretty good start going in Los Angeles, and it fell apart in the 5th inning.
Yeah, at the top of the Dodgers lineup, he wasn't able to get those guys out before you had Abreu. And so he's looking back to that San Diego start. What did I do well in that one? Well, I attacked the strike zone. I used my sinker down into the zone to get to my sliders and changeup. He's got to be careful, though, with the number of left-handers, including the switch hitter Smoke. There's 7 lefties in the lineup today for the Mariners.
Well, that's a good pitch to get, that borderline pitch. Knee high. Mike Everett calls a strike on Dustin Ackley. That's down low, 1-1. You know, let's take a look at the Mariners coaching staff. Obviously, you don't see him that frequently. Eric Wedge did a fine job as a Cleveland manager, a former Rocky. Robbie Thompson's on the bench with him. Carl Willis, the pitching coach. Chris Chambliss is the hitting coach. Mike Brumley at first. Jeff Datz at third. So a good-looking staff for Eric Wedge.
Former pitcher Jamie Navarro, bullpen coach.
And did you overlap with Jamie in Chicago?
No, I played against him.
And a line drive, gloved by Troy Tulowitzki. And let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. Carlos Gonzalez is in left field. Dexter Fowler's in center field. Michael Kadire in right field. George Pacheco's been swinging the bat, and he's been playing every day with the injury to Chris Nelson at third. Tulowitzki and Scudero up the middle. Helton's at first, and Willeen Rosario is catching tonight. Ramon Hernandez caught 222 pitches yesterday. I'll tell you another story on that in a moment as Michael Saunders steps in.
Saunders very athletic.
I was talking to our colleague on the Seattle side, Mike Blowers, who was an old teammate of yours, and he said this kid's just starting to figure it out because he didn't really grow up playing a ton of baseball north of the border.
What did he play? That sport on the pond?
There's some of that. They kind of kick you out of there if you don't play ice hockey.
Yeah, so that's what he did primarily growing up, and now he is, as Mike said, he's learning how to play baseball.
Well, I like that pitch, that 0-2 pitch just off the outside corner, 1-2.
What I like so far from Alex is the velocities. Seeing 93s to 95s.
Now Rosario is going to go back inside. And this ball is lined to the gap in right center field. Michael Saunders is a long strider, and he's heading for 3, and he's going to have it easily. First triple for Saunders.
Well, they wanted to come inside, but did not get it in enough. Tailed back to the inner third on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. But Saunders got the barrel to the ball quickly. Long strides. It didn't take many strides between first and second or second and third.
They'll bring the infield in with Ichiro, and he's tardy on that swing.
Well, they can bring the infield in because Ichiro is more of a ground ball hitter. Yeah, he has the pop to hit it out of the yard, but he tries to swing and slap down on the ball.
And the average, not where you'd expect it to be for Ichiro. It's in the 275 range, 278 to be exact. And Ichiro hitting in the 3-hole has just 1 home run. Good block by Rosario. It's 2-1. He's amazing, though. Came from Japan well into his career, and he's produced over 2,400 hits in the United States.
Yeah, if you counted the hits in Japan and the United States, he'd be sitting 4th with 3,751 hits because he had 1,278 in Japan.
Amazing. Good pitch by White. Got it in on the kitchen of Ichiro. 2-2. Thing about Ichiro, there's a lot of things about Ichiro, but He doesn't strike out. Just 11 punch outs and 162 at bats. He is going to get it in play. Saunders with 1 out is at third.
Well, he and Wade Boggs are similar in that regard, Drew. They're not going to strike out. They have the eye of an eagle.
And slowly hit. Tulowitzki will hold Saunders, and he throws out Ichiro. He was able to break the bat of Ichiro, and now the infield can drop back. 2 gone. And Kyle Seager's a good-looking young hitter also will step up. Let's check in with Jenny Kapner. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Drew. We just wanted to remind our fans out there that today is Fan Friday. I have my phone with me all game, so you know what that means. All you have to do is tweet me at @RootSports_JC, or you can find me on my Facebook fan page and send your questions. We've had a lot of fun with you asking Rockies questions the past couple Fridays. Today, we thought we'd theme it out with interleague play. So go ahead and ask your interleague questions. We'll answer a few coming up on the broadcast. Drew?
Sounds like a very good plan. What's the number again? I'm going to call you.
You weren't listening.
Oh. Seager takes a strike.
Either on Twitter or Facebook.
Talking to Chris Warren, the Rockies' very good advanced scout. He feels like Seager one day will either hit third or maybe in a 5th, 6th spot, and he could hit that on a top level team. He really likes how Seager swings the bat.
Well, that's impressive if you're talking about a winning club and he can hit one of those 2 spots.
Center field, tailing away from Dexter. He's not going to be able to catch it. He did a good job to knock it down. Seager a wide turn, and he'll head back to first. An RBI single for Seager, and it's 1-0 Seattle.
14 out of the 22 RBIs for Seager have come with 2 outs. That's why he's hitting 4th.
It's just his 3rd career start in the 4-hole.
Strong enough to dump it right in front of Dexter. And the ball was slicing away because when it was first hit, it looked like Dexter might have a chance to try to lay out for it. And then he thought better of it. I've got to knock it down and keep him to a single.
That'll bring up Justin Smoke. Well, the 3 buddies from Carolina, White, Ackley, and Seager. White got Ackley out. He could not get Kyle Seager. Those were some terrific Tar Heel baseball teams. They were together for 3 years. They went to the College World Series 3 straight years. They had 9 guys drafted the year that White went in the 1st round. Ackley went in the 1st round. Seager a high pick.
They went 159 and 48 during those 3 years.
Seager takes off, and the throw by Rosario is in time. Nice job whipping the tag from the shortstop side of the bag by Tulowitzki. So Rosario cuts down Seager to end the 1st inning. A triple by Saunders, a base hit by Seager, and it's 1-0 Mariners. Bottom of the first inning. Rockies will have Marco Scutaro naturally leading off. He has been at the top of the lineup virtually every game for Jim Tracy this year. Here's the rest of Tracy's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Jordan Pacheco will bat second again. He had a home run yesterday. Cargo will bat third. He had a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game. Tulowitzki, Troy had a home run yesterday. Michael Kadire, Willeen Rosario, Dexter Fowler swinging the bat well, and then Alex White. Against Kevin Millwood, North Carolina native. Kevin Millwood, his fastball's up high. Won his first ball game in a Mariner uniform in his last outing, beat the Yankees.
Well, and what was big about that game, Drew, is he got his 2,000th strikeout in the game against the Yankees. This one of 4 active player and 67th pitcher in Major League history to do that.
Millwood had a real good influence on not only the young pitchers for the Rockies. Alex White was speaking of that earlier, but just the entire clubhouse. He just has a great demeanor to him.
He reminds me of Michael Kadire on the pitching side.
Yeah.
Where nothing phases them. They've been through many situations. They understand the ups and downs of a season, how to get out of a slump if you're in one, and realize that at the end of the day, you're playing a baseball game.
2 balls and a strike on Scutaro. 3-1. Marco was on base 3 times yesterday. A couple of walks and a double. His walk in the 8th inning forced in a run. That's what David Hernandez was struggling with his command. There seemed to be an epidemic of that.
Must have been
yesterday.
something on the mound.
I don't know. Hopefully it's been removed. 3-2.
You're not sure what you're going to get from Kevin Millwood. We saw this last year when he was pitching for the Rockies. It could be a fastball, slider, curveball change in any situation.
The thing about Millwood, and we were talking about this earlier in the dugout, you and I, is Millwood's not afraid. He obviously is not afraid. 164 wins. And what I mean by that is he's going to listen. It's 89, 90 now. It's not as hard as he used to throw, but here it is.
It goes back to his Atlanta Braves days.
Strike 3. That caught the corner and the top of the strike zone. Scutaro, a rare punch out.
Yeah, you just don't. If he strikes out, typically it's a swinging strikeout. You will not see Marco just take the bat and hang on to it back to the dugout, but it was a strike on the 4th strike zone, top of the zone.
Mike Everett's behind home plate. Paul Schreiber at first, DJ Rayburn at second, and Laz Diaz is at third. 1 out, and here's Jordan Pacheco. Jordan takes a strike. Pacheco yesterday 1 for 4. That home run, his first of the year, to deep left center field. He got it pretty well. That strikeout for Scutaro was his first since May 8th, 10 days ago. And this ball hit on the ground to second. Dustin Ackley will throw to Justin Smoke. Defensively, Seattle in the outfield has Mike Karp in left, Saunders in center, and Ichiro, who can still throw, in right. Seager's at third, Brendan Ryan steady with the glove at short, Ackley and Smoke. Smoke's had a nice run at first base, hasn't committed an error in a long time. John Jaso's behind home plate. 2 outs, nobody on, and Carr goes up. 2 singles and 5 at bats for Gonzalez yesterday. Average at .307, leading the club with 7 home runs, 30 driven in. It's ball 1.
What was impressive yesterday about Cargo is not just the 2 hits, but he had been 0 for 3 and a couple punch outs early in the game, but in the rallies, his last 2 at bats, solid single to center field. That's why you hit over 300 and win batting titles.
Interesting alignment, Huey. Brendan Ryan is, I've never seen this before. He's in center field. He's playing short center field. That's based on the scouting report of late, too, because he's hit some line drives right in that spot.
But even if you catch it, if you have to move 2 or 3 feet to either side, that's still a long throw to throw out Carlos. We've seen the second baseman do that with a Giambi up to bat.
And Brendan Ryan, as we mentioned, doing a good job with the glove.
And just one error.
Two balls and a strike on Cargo. Pretty good velocity there. 92 from Millwood.
He can reach back, and that'll probably be where he tops out. He might nick 93.
It was more 88 to 90 with the Rockies last year down the stretch. Three and two.
But even with the diminished velocity and what he had early in his career, he's not afraid to pitch inside. He understands the value of keeping a hitter honest.
Here's the 3-2. Slowly hit to Smoke. He'll catch it, tag the bag in the same motion. 1-2-3 first inning for Kevin Millwood. Seattle scored in their half of the first. 1-0.
Field, Seattle on top of the Rockies as we head to the second, 1-0 as we begin interleague play. Well, interleague play brings back a lot of memories from previous series with Seattle. We thought we'd give you, the fans at home, a nice gift of recapping some of them. We start with 1997. It was a year that Randy Johnson was hot on the mound. He finished 20-4 overall that year, second in the AL Cy Young voting, and he happened to pitch a two-hitter against the Colorado Rockies. But paybacks did come. Todd Helton, he came up with magic in another game, a nice walk-off hit. Seattle did better that year with a 90-win finish and a trip to the playoffs. Don't forget, it is a Fan Friday. You can tweet me at @RootSports_JC. We'll get to some of your interleague questions a little bit later, and I do appreciate all the tweets I'm receiving from North Carolina. Alex White has a lot of fans out there watching, a lot of friends from his hometown. So hello to all of you.
Justin Smoke at the plate, Jenny, and he hits a fly ball down the left field line. That's foul. A lot of Carolina connections, a lot of North Carolina connections. Smoke went to the University of South Carolina.
Well, and he remembers he faced Alex White in college.
Here's the 1-1. Took something off. Good pitch. 1-2. Smoke, a big, strong kid, came up in the Texas Rangers organization out of University of South Carolina, an 11th pick overall. Didn't spend a lot of time in the minor leagues. And he is gone. He's not immune to the strikeout. One gone, and that'll bring up John Jaso. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. And I hope you did that today. Justin Smoke with his 37th strikeout of the season. Here's a cutie. John Jaso at the plate. The first pitch is down low from Alex White. White making his first home start of the year. And a bouncing ball to second. Easy play.
That's a good sign with the sinker. Get those left-handed bats to roll over the top of them. Hey fans, remember you can bike to the game on May 20th, which is this Sunday, and you can win prizes. Green packs are also available. Get more information at coloradorockies.com/green, but ride your bike to the game on Sunday.
You going up? You riding?
I got to put some air in the tires first.
You help with that?
Yeah, I do.
Said that like that was a major undertaking.
Well, and then just figure out if my bike can make it all the way from Parker.
I think the bike, no, the bike can make it. It's whether the operator can make it.
I just put them one is the same.
Two 2-0 on Mike Carp.
But you know what? I just remembered it. I can't because we fly out right after the game on Sunday.
I'll give you a ride to the airport.
No, but then my bike would be here the whole time.
That's not a problem. There's a lot of secure places inside the stadium. I think you ought to do it. 3-1. First of 5 interleague series for the Rockies in 2012.
Some good matchups too.
Fly ball deep center field. Dexter turning his back, and he's going to watch this sail on out. Mike Carp with his 3rd home run of the year, and it is 2-0 Seattle.
Carp's still trying to find his swing after running into the wall over in Japan in the opening series that they had. He injured his right shoulder, but there was no injury with this swing. The high leg kick, the hands locked in, right on the sweet spot from the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. And he stayed centered and drove it out about 425 feet.
It's the first home run that White has allowed this year. That was a problem last September. He gave up a bunch of home runs last year. Brendan Ryan at the plate, really scuffling. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it hit him.
Well, that's not what you want to do with a guy that's hitting 153. Let's see where they got him. He missed location badly. It was a slider that slipped out of his hand.
Now Kevin Millwood's at the plate. You may recall last year Millwood hit a home run for the Rockies. Kevin was saying the other day he really enjoys being back in a National League ballpark because he likes to hit. Scudero and foul ground. Nice play. In the inning, Mike Carp hits a solo home run, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. of the second inning. Helton and Kadire to follow. Kevin Millwood last year pitched in 9 ball games with the Rockies, and he fashioned an ERA just under 4. And the strikeout to walk ratio was tremendous. 36 punch outs, just 8 walks. He did a really good job. Rockies had interest in bringing him back. Took the offer in Seattle. And now he is in their rotation at a 1-2-3 first inning.
And remember, he was on his way to LaGuardia Airport when he got the call from the Rockies. He parked his car and hopped on a jet to come here.
He was going home.
Yeah, he's done. He said, I'm it. It's over.
Home for good.
Went to the farm. Instead, he's pitching in his 13th plus year in the big leagues.
Tulowitzki, a home run yesterday, snapped a string of 67 at bats without a home run. This is fouled off out of play down the right field line. Tulowitzki's first at bat yesterday against Trevor Cahill, and he hit it in the seats and left. With Marco Scutero aboard, Rockies got off to a 2-0 first inning lead, 3-0 after 2, 4-1 when Pacheco hit his home run in the 5th. 9-7 final in favor of Arizona. 2-strike count. Mariners have lost 12 of their last 13 on the road. Had a tough loss yesterday in Cleveland, a ball game Eric Wedge's team led for most of the way and fell 6-5. Jose Lopez, the former Mariner, with the Indians down 4-1, hit a 3-run blast to tie it up.
Yeah, yesterday the Mariners just 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position.
And their first opportunity, or their second opportunity today, because Ichiro made it out, Kyle Seager came through. I mean, they've been miserable with runners in scoring position out on the road, hitting beneath 100 over their last 98 at bats in those situations.
But that just shows you the youth and inexperience of this ball club, this Mariners ball club.
Chris Chambliss is their hitting coach. He knows a thing or two about hitting. He was quite a hitter himself. Two and two on Troy. And this is popped up. Justin Smoke will make the catch. That'll bring up Helton. Join in on the conversation with Toyota Talk. Text Toyota to 720-720. We'll do it in the 6th inning. Learn also how to win a $500 gas card. That's Toyota Talk. Todd on a 3-0 pitch in the 9th inning yesterday with 2 men already on. Tulo had singled after Cargo had singled. Blistered a line drive to center. You hope it's one of those at bats that leads to a hot run for Helton.
Yeah, string of at bats for Todd where he's consistently throwing out 2 or 3 hits a night.
That's well hit to left, but Karp is there and he almost misplayed it. They were aligned perfectly in the outfield. That ball was stung with such authority, it almost went over Karp's head.
Well, lucky for him that he has that long outfielder's glove, reaches out and gets as much extension as he can, because he caught that on the end of the webbing. So baseballs in Seattle don't fly that far.
So here's Michael Kadire. Kadire was saying earlier, you know, nobody likes to hit at Petco, or excuse me, at Safeco, it seems like, but Kadire said he's always enjoyed swinging the bat up there. It's close to a 300 average in his career against Seattle. Two-strike count. Very good numbers against Kevin Millwood for Kadire. 12 for 28, couple home runs.
Just 2 strikeouts in those 28 at bats.
Ground ball to Ackley. So Millwood has retired the first 6 he has faced. Mariners leading 2-0 off to the 3rd.
First game of interleague play for the 2012 season. Now, before Jason Giambi came to the Colorado Rockies in 2009, he was All-American League. He happens to be one that likes the crossover for interleague play.
I think it's great. You know, the toughest thing I think about playing here is we don't really have a rival. So every year it seems like we play somebody different, you know, where the Dodgers get to play the Angels and the Yankees play the Mets. So unfortunately we don't really have a rival here. So it makes it tough to really get a good matchup. You know, it seems like we play Detroit, you know, all the time or somebody else. I'd like to see that a little bit better, but, you know, I like interleague play.
And, of course, we like Jason Giambi's bat in the lineup. We'll, of course, see that a lot more with the DH situation when these guys are on the road for interleague play. But I'm going to throw in one of the tweets that we've gotten back to you, Drew and Jeff. They want to know, will it be Todd Helton or Jason Giambi with those day games that's going to be playing DH, seeing as Todd Helton's been getting plenty of rest after a night game to a day game?
Well, if he's rested enough, you want Helton playing defense, so you'd want Giambi as a designated hitter.
Or you could put Tyler Colvin at first base and DH.
Exactly.
Jason.
Yeah, Jason would just be a DH in an American League ballpark, and if Todd were to get a day off, as Jeff mentioned, it'd be Colvin or Kadire. There was a nasty lefty on the mound who could play first base.
Well, last year, the National League designated hitters, they hit just .214.
Well, it seems like every year that's the stat. DH for a National League team not doing a great job. Ackley fouls this off.
Yeah, the American League, they were .266 just because they're used to doing it more often.
And they hit about 40 more home runs or so than the National League last year. They've won the series 8 straight years. 2-2 on Ackley, the former North Carolina All-American, and a ground ball to Tulowitzki. AT trivia question. I remember the ball game well. June 30th, 2006 at Safeco in Seattle. It's the fastest game in Rockies history. An hour and 52 minutes. Josh Fogg was opposed that day by which Mariners pitcher? Fogg went the distance. The Dragon Slayer. Michael Saunders steps in. He tripled and scored in the first. Fouls his pitch off. Yeah, something brewing, by the way, in Pittsburgh. Justin Verlander and the Tigers. More Justin Verlander looking for his third no-no.
Through 8?
Through 8. He'll take a no-hitter into the 9th inning. Through 8, 12 punch-outs. A couple of walks for Verlander. And just 95 pitches.
I'm sure Pittsburgh's going, thanks, we get Verlander in interleague, but the Rockies are going to be saying the same thing because they traveled to Detroit in June.
That's a murderous trip. Detroit, Philadelphia, and then Texas. 2-1. There's a Tiger fan. That or he liked the hat. You never know anymore.
No.
He went with my shorts. 3-1. Saunders is from Victoria, BC, but you know where he lives, don't you?
Where?
Lives right here in Castle Rock, Colorado. Line drive right field. Kadire will make the catch. Yep, Michael Saunders makes, that was hit on the nose again. Makes his all-season home in Castle Rock. 2 gone, and that'll bring up Ichiro.
Smart man.
Great place to live. Suzuki's first year in the United States was 2001. And he won Rookie of the Year and MVP awards.
Back foot's right on the back end of the batter's box. Yeah, you just have to have a part of your foot in that area for it to be legal.
1-2 on Ichiro. 0 for his last 12 at the plate. Ichiro last year slumped to 272. His previous worst average was 310. And he's going to have a base hit to left field. It's amazing how he contacts the ball in the outside corner because he's always running out of the box.
Yeah, but from the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, even though he is going forward, look how still his head is and where his head is in relation to the bat. That was a beautiful shot as far as keeping everything together, even though the hips have slid forward. The hands are back along with the head.
Kyle Seager, an RBI single in the first. Ichiro will still run, not with the frequency he did when he first arrived from Japan. He's 5 of 5 in stolen bases this year. He's got the most hits in interleague play since 2001, ahead of Michael Young, Derek Jeter, and A-Rod.
What's amazing is last year was the first time he has not had 200 hits in a season.
184. In 04, he set the major league record with 262 hits. He also hit 15 home runs that year, career best. Now he will put on a show in batting practice. He can hit him as far as anybody.
That's not his style during the game.
It's not, but there are some in that Mariners organization and fans who follow the Mariners, particularly Huey, now that he's in that 3-hole, that wish when the situation would call for it that he would try to drive the ball a little bit more as opposed to just slapping it and taking a base hit.
I understand that of what they're hoping, but sometimes you just can't change who you are as a player, no matter how old you are and how many years you've been playing. I know switching from the leadoff spot to the 3 spot should lend itself to more home runs and more power and trying to jack baseballs out of the ballpark. But that just doesn't fit his style.
It doesn't fit his style, but I think the reason the topic comes up is folks have watched him up there for a number of years now, and they know it's in there. They know that he could do that. He's so gifted. Is there a swing there? Yep. 1-2.
The overhead angle gives you the best view of where it's going to go, and the barrel went past the plate. That's an easy call for Laz Diaz.
See if White can make a pitch here. Ichiro at first, a 1-2 count. See if he takes off. Not going, and swung on and missed. Kyle Seager, who got a run-scoring single in the first, fans here in the third. 2-0 Mariners. Bottom third of the lineup for the Rockies. AT&T trivia question once again. Josh Fogg pitched the fastest game in Rockies history up in Seattle. Who pitched for the Mariners that day? He's a Rocky now.
I don't. Oh, Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer. I mean, Jamie pitched well.
Remember the 2 hits from Josh Fogg? He immediately got double plays to erase those 2 hitters.
He faced the minimum, didn't he?
Yeah, the unperfect perfect game because of those 2 hits and then the double play. Still only faced 27 batters.
What a good man. Fogger was fun to be around and an easy-going demeanor.
You mentioned it, the Dragon Slayer.
The Dragon Slayer.
Every time the Rockies needed a big win that year, he got it.
Here's the 1-0 on Willeen Rosario. And it's 1-1. I'll never forget the story that emanated from the Rockies clubhouse after the final game of the regular season in 2007, and then the play-in game was coming, and Clint Hurdle was in the clubhouse and addressed the team, and he said, all right, tomorrow we're going to give the baseball to Josh Fogg, the Dragon Slayer. And I think it was Tulowitzki or somebody who said, oh, man, we got no shot now. And just broke up the whole clubhouse. And that's got about levity, right?
Yes. You can't think of it in a so serious tone that people start to worry before they leave the ballpark. Well, we've got this big game tomorrow. Have some fun with it.
And Millwood strikes out Rosario. They get the out at first. Moyer doing his thing. Darvish went short that day. Fogg pitched that afternoon as if he was double parked.
He just didn't bring enough change for the meter.
Nope. Dexter with one out. Trying to take it to that 8th spot in the lineup, and the Rockies overall hitting .296 out of that 8th spot, which is the best batting average out of the 8-hole in the National League. The Cardinals are next, .272. That's not surprising. It seems the Cardinals hit out of every spot in the lineup.
Oh, I know one thing though this year with the Cardinals, that the pitcher will not be hitting 8th there with Mike Matheny now the manager, and
Yeah, doubtful.
he's going to go with the normal 9th spot for the pitcher.
Rockies looking for their first base runner, one out in the 3rd, down 2-0. And that levels the count at 2-2. One out in the 9th inning. I said that ball game was in Pittsburgh. Verlander has a no-hitter in Detroit against the Pirates.
Even better for the fans in Detroit.
Yep. Off the plate, 3-2. Ball 4, so Dexter walks with one out.
That on base percentage just keeps climbing for Dexter.
After watching the Rockies play on Sunday, stick around for Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. We'll hear from former Rocky Walt Weiss about his high school coaching career at Regis. Take a look at Rockies newcomer Christian Friedrich's impressive start in the big leagues. Also, don't forget to look for the keyword during the show to win a pair of tickets from Root Sports. Well, with one out in the 9th inning, Justin Verlander's bid for his 3rd no-hitter was broken up on a punch single to center field.
It was clean though.
It was clean.
It was Harrison.
He was out on his front side a little bit. He just hit it. A little soft liner up the middle.
Josh Harrison.
It won't be the last time he flirts with a no-hitter. Well, Alex White at the plate with a 1-strike count. Yesterday he had to pinch hit in the 9th inning with nobody out, and the bases loaded, with instructions not to swing.
Smart. You don't want to hit it to the double play. It didn't work out for the Rockies because of the double play right after.
Here's Harrison's base hit.
Pretty impressive from Justin Verlander, Old Dominion.
Yeah,
product.
And the obligatory standing ovation for Verlander. And White is now fouled 2 off.
I'm trying to be too fine. Remember, you have Dexter Fowler at first base. You have a guy with good speed there. So you can even lay it down in front of home plate, down out in this area right there, and be okay.
Dex takes off, big jump, and a strikeout at the plate. Fowler, you better stay on the bag.
I was just going to say there, stay there.
I think he was getting deked for a moment by Brendan Ryan.
Well, you get a stolen base for Dexter Fowler, third stolen base of the season. He takes off.
Now watch Dex, see if our video keeps rolling. He started to walk back there.
Always check with the umpire when in doubt. Don't listen or watch a middle infielder, because they will try to deke you and say, nope, that was a foul ball. Go ahead and go back. It's okay.
You never did such a thing.
That I would admit to.
Marco Scudero struck out looking on a 3-2 pitch his first time up.
You mentioned Walt Weiss a moment ago. Regis won their first playoff game today against Dakota Ridge. The score is 15-4. Double elimination. Only 8 teams left in the 5A.
He's got a nice club.
And Jenny's dad, Steve Kavnar, assistant coach.
It's in there 1-1 on Scudero. Well, I don't think you can get any better instruction anywhere around with Walt and Steve, who's been in high school baseball circles forever.
There's a lot of good 5A teams this year. Islands Ranch with their pitching. Legend making their first appearance down south.
A lot of good high school coaches, too, in our state. Here's the 1-1, fouled off, 1-2. And Scudero back up the middle. Ryan is going to throw him out by a step. Nice play by Brendan Ryan. That has always been the strength of his game, his defense. We'll go to the fourth, 2-0 Mariners.
Back here at Coors Field. Well, all this interleague talk has us wanting to get you, the fans, involved. Of course, today is a Fan Friday. You can find me on Twitter at @RootSports_Jenny Kavnar, or just JC, actually. @RootSports_JC. That's where you send me your questions. We'll take one from @TheFunMeter. They want to know, do you think the DH rule should be switched for interleague games, so the DH in NL parks, so we can see the action? It's an interesting topic of conversation. Not sure it would actually ever happen, but Drew and Jeff, when you you think about all the changes for interleague play over the course of next season starting in 2013, you never know. Things could happen.
Well, there'll be 15 teams in the American League with Houston going over there, so there's going to be interleague play throughout the year. It won't just be in the late May into June. I think it's an interesting concept because the American League cities are used to seeing the DH and not having their pitchers hit. Why not flip it?
Well, and just show you a different brand of baseball. If you've grown up in an American League city, a la Detroit, if that's what you've seen, then see how the other half lives. I think it's a wonderful idea because I enjoy interleague play. I enjoy being able to see other ballparks and other clubs and people that you read about all the time, seeing them in person and watching them play. But I like the different styles too. So yeah, flip-flop it so even the fans here in Colorado can see what it's like with a DH.
And one thing we've learned under Bud Selig, he is not adverse to change. And he's not adverse to look with the playoffs, the advent of the wild card and now an extra wild card. So I think it is within the realm of possibility. Base hit the other way for Justin Smoke. That's the 5th hit for the Mariners. The Rockies do not have a hit yet against Kevin Millwood. John Jaso grounded to second coming up. Ball one. Jaso with Tampa throughout his career. This should be 2. Nice turn. It's great to have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from your shortstop.
Well, it's nice to have a 2-hopper for the second baseman in Scudero. And you look in the dictionary, you see definition of a candy hop. Here it is.
And you know, tactically, talk about this, Jeff, because when he makes the underhand flip, he walks with it.
Yeah, follow your throw. That's the best way to describe it. So you have the momentum, and the ball doesn't hang in the air too long.
Mike Karp takes ball one. Karp, his first time up, got a 3-1 center cut fastball, and he hit it about 430 to dead center field.
Let's go back to that double play a moment ago, Drew, and with a perfect look from the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, but as you mentioned, the following the throw. So Troy gets it, he slides his right foot by the bag, clears himself so the runner can't interfere with him, throw to first. That's like how you practice it during batting practice.
I was going to say, that's how you do it, isn't it?
We have 2 professionals playing a position, and Marco Scudero, remember, also plays shortstop, so he understands where shortstops like to have the throw.
One and 2 on Karp. See if they go to the split here. That's what it looked like. Line drive right center field. And it's caught by Cadillo. Single, double play, erase that. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0. look at Chevy's Dare to Compare. The Chevy Equinox, 32 highway miles per gallon, outperforms its competitors. Chevy, made for Colorado. Rockies in interleague play, 30-27 against the American League East, the vaunted AL East. They're 3 games above 500 all time against the Central, but against the AOS, 7 games beneath 500. In fact, 500 tonight overall with the victory. Jordan Pacheco, Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, all with their second look at former teammate Kevin Millwood. Fastballs up high. Pacheco on the ground to second, his first time.
This is following the lines of what Millwood has done this year out on the road. 1-2 with the 2.39 ERA compared to 0-2 and 10 ERA at home.
Pacheco, a line shot, gloved by Seager, 1 out. Time for the big hit presented by Mako, the company that repairs all kinds of hits. Yesterday, mini 2-game set concluding against Arizona. Jordan Pacheco, at the time, gave the Rockies a 4-1 lead with his first home run of the year. Brought to you by Mako. Check out your local Mako for collision repairs and auto painting for as low as $349. Visit Mako.com today. Fargo takes ball 1. He had a roller to first. That ended the first inning. Mariners up 2-0. Rockies have been out hit 5-zip. Same defense we saw last inning. Ryan on the outfield grass, and this is a soft fly ball to left, and Cart makes the catch, 2 outs.
Late movement on the baseball from Kevin Millwood.
There's something, because very few guys have squared it up. The hardest hit ball, 2. Helton's to left, and the line out a moment ago by Jordan Pacheco. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And there's Kay welcoming people into the Wells Fargo Club. Tulo looks at a cutter just off the plate. No, it's called a strike. Excuse me. On the ground to short, Brendan Ryan. Boy, Millwood's rolling. 4 innings. He's allowed 1 base runner, a walk to Fowler back in the 3rd.
1-0 still as we head to the top of the 5th. Now, interleague play began 15 seasons ago, and we thought it'd be fun to flash back to all the memories between the Mariners and the Rockies. So here we go back to 1998. Ellis Burks was in his last season with the Colorado Rockies. Boy, did he end his series with Seattle on a nice note. What a web gem that was. A catch in center field at the wall. And then Ken Griffey Jr., that was a record year for Jr., 56 home runs, including one against Colorado. We will continue to share our memories with you throughout the broadcast and throughout the rest of the series. For now, Drew, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Some pretty good players for the Mariners in the late 90s. Junior, A-Rod,
Buhner,
Jay Buhner, Randy Johnson.
Edgar Martinez.
Maybe the best DH of all time.
I think he's the best right-handed hitter that I've played with or played against.
Brendan Ryan at the plate with an 0-1 count. Well, we welcome back to the booth a good friend of ours, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs here in Metro Denver, John Aragoni. John, how you doing?
Doing great.
You look dapper.
Thank you. Dressed up for you, Drew.
Well, you know, we tried. We tried tonight. I tried to clean Huey up, and that's the best I could.
You guys are looking sharp. Thanks for having me.
You bet. It's good to have you, and I know we're down to the final hours. Rosario's not going to have a play. Okay. Final hours of the wonderful raffle that you guys put together the last couple of years.
Midnight tonight is the deadline, and things are going well. I encourage everyone to buy. The odds are 1 in 120, and on June 2nd, we're going to give away 300 prizes.
And the big prizes, the Daddy of Mall, and all the money goes to benefit a wonderful cause, the Girls and Boys Clubs here in Metro Denver. What is it, a $3 million home, or is there a $2 million home?
The grand prize winner has a shot at a $3 million home, but I'll tell you, the winner normally walks away with a bundle of cash, and everybody has a chance to win.
Well,
and if you buy 2 or more tickets, there's a separate drawing for a Porsche Boxster, a trip to Hawaii, or a trip to Europe, in addition to being in the grand prize.
Drew, give me your credit card.
Hold on, sir. And in addition to that,
he already gave me yours.
I got the numbers down. Wendy wanted you in. So there's a ton of other prizes also.
Yes, 300 prizes are going to be given away on June 2nd. Tonight at midnight, we cut it off, and so there's a few hours left.
Now, the big thing, it goes to the Boys and Girls Club.
That's what this is all about. This is all about the kids, and you know, we're working hard with over 12,000 kids, over 2,000 a day coming in our 14 locations. People support this because of the cause.
Very quickly, and we're going to put it up on the screen, I believe, also. How do people, they're listening right now at home, how do people get involved here in the final few hours?
MileHighRaffle.com. MileHighRaffle.com, and it's very easy to buy tickets.
MileHighRaffle.com. And last year you sold how many raffle tickets?
Oh gosh, 15, 20,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, and people walked away with a lot of prizes and a lot of money.
And this year we've exceeded that.
Oh
right?
yes, no, we're on a roll. And but there's tickets left. Let's not kid ourselves. We need to sell some more, and let's get the word out. Only a few hours left, but we can do this for the kids.
Okay,
midnight tonight.
Midnight tonight.
MileHighRaffle.com. It's a great way, an easy way to support the Boys and Girls Clubs under John's guidance. They're doing marvelous things in the community. They're building. There's a brand new, enormous facility going in. You told us about it last time.
Yes, on about September 15th, September 20th, we're breaking ground on a 30,000-foot facility in Northeast Park Hill at the Old Holly Shopping Center, partnering with the Anchudes Foundation and a new Boys and Girls Club named in honor of Jack Vickers.
That's terrific.
Isn't that great?
Good deal.
That's
And I know Jack with the International did so much with the Boys and Girls Clubs. John, it's a pleasure always to see you.
Thank you.
Good luck. We're going to plug it some more tonight.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
John Aragoni is the
much.
CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs here in Metro Denver. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Ford Fusion. Quality you want and economy you deserve. Ford Fusion, go further. By the Colorado Lottery, don't forget to play. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network, AT&T Rethink Possible. And by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. Called a strike on Todd Helton, back live. Bottom of the 5th inning already. Unlike yesterday, this is a rapidly moving game. Both Millwood and White throwing strikes. Millwood has not allowed a hit yet.
Well, next pitch will be just number 51 for Millwood.
And Todd hits it in the air toward Carp, and he makes the catch in fair territory. The only base runner for the Rockies. A 1-out walk to Dexter in the 3rd. He would steal 2nd, but could advance no further.
Fans, if you're hitting the road, you can subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out-of-market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home. Go to ColoradoRockies.com for more information, but make sure you do it. You don't want to miss any games.
Dyer fouling the first pitch straight back. Almost painted the outside corner. He seems to be throwing a little bit harder than he did last year.
Yeah, 89, 90 last year, more 92, 93 in this start. Last year when he was here was towards the end of the season. He's still fresh now. For Kevin Millwood, 5 ground outs, 5 flyouts, and 3 strikeouts.
Millwood's been mixing his pitches very well. 1-2 on Kadire.
A very fair strike zone from Mike Everett. Well, Mike's calling the ball on the corner. If it's the top of the zone, it's there. The bottom, it's not extra wide for Kevin, but he is locating and spotting the baseball very nicely.
Strike 3. Like that location. That's the 4th strikeout for Millwood.
It did catch the forward strike zone, but you saw where the catcher set up. Millwood threw it to that location. Mike Everett sees it the whole way. He's not guessing or anticipating. Is this going to be a strike? Kevin's hit his spot for the most part all night. I'm calling it a strike.
Boy, that's a nasty breaking ball. Good hard slider. Willeen Rosario struck out his first time on a slider.
And predominantly fastball or a cut fastball and a slider tonight.
Probably could make some comparisons between Willeen Rosario and Jesus Montero, the young catcher for Seattle, who came in the Michael Pineda deal, the New York Yankees. Now Montero probably not quite as far along catching as Rosario, but they both have top shelf power and both struggle with off speed stuff.
They like the number 1, the express, the fastball. But why throw it to him if they're going to continue to chase the off speed? We saw in San Francisco what happens when you throw a fastball in a good location to Willeen. He hits it 15, 20 rows deep.
You know, it used to be said, Huey, that young hitters would have to make an adjustment after they went around the league one time. It's just one series now, and guys have a book on you. Strike 3.
Advanced scouting.
changed entirely. Kevin Millwood has been special tonight. 5 innings of no-hit baseball. He's got 5 strikeouts as well.
Still trails Seattle 2-0. Mariners on top of the Rockies as we welcome you back to Coors Field. It is a Fan Friday. You know you can always tweet us on Fridays at @RootSports_JC, and we'll try and answer a few live on the broadcast. Today's theme all about interleague play. We'll go to the phone. At Rockies Road wants to know who's been the most successful DH in Rockies history. Well, we've done a little research for you, Rockies Road, and here's what we've come up with. Larry Walker. He hits .268 with 4 home runs. Jason Giambi, he's only had 3 years of interleague play. That's it, hitting .259 with 3 home runs. And Dante Bichette coming in third with .250 and 1 home run. Of course, that's a minimum of 30 plate appearances as a DH for all of those guys. So Larry Walker is your answer.
Larry Walker could do a lot of things on a baseball field. Your old teammate in the minor leagues with Montreal.
I think for a lot of these, you can say Larry Walker, Dante Bichette, Vinny Castilla.
Those would be good guesses.
To start with those 3 and then go from there, throw in a Todd Helton.
Michael Saunders, a triple and a line drive to right. And it's 2-0. So our Toyota Talk inning. Once again, milehighraffle.com. Chance to win wonderful prizes and, most importantly, help out the boys and girls clubs of Metro Denver. milehighraffle.com. You have to midnight tonight. All right, thanks again to John Aragoni, who's always a joy to visit with, CEO of the boys and girls clubs in Metro Denver.
I just saw it. Shout out to Regis University, the RMAC champions. Good for them.
Nice program there. Two and 2 on Michael Saunders. Good fastball on his fly ball to Cargo near the line, and Carlos under control makes the catch. Well, Jim Tracy has been exasperated really all season long, but of late with all of the walks. And here's what he said before the ball game.
If you pitch defensively, you will fail. It's that simple. And that theory, if you will, has never changed at any level, with any pitcher, against any hitter. If you're pitching not to succeed, but you're pitching not to fail, you're not going to like the outcome.
And the reason we wanted to play that bite right here is Ichiro reaches down and lines a single to center field, is that Alex White has not walked a batter in the game. Yes, he's trailing 2-0. You tip your cap right now to Kevin Millwood. Long home run to center field, a solo home run by Mike Carp, and the triple by Saunders, single by Seager in the first inning. So if you had walked some people, now instead of 2-0, maybe it's 4 or 5-0. Rockies are very much in the game. It's a pitcher's duel between White and Millwood. He's not giving out freebies.
And you're also keeping your defense involved because they're on their toes. They're not sitting back. It's not a 3-1, 3-0 count every time you look at the scoreboard. And there's 6 ground ball outs, 5 fly outs, 4 strikeouts. And so the guys in the field, they're on their balls of their feet. They're anticipating the ball being hit to them. How many times the last couple of days did we see guys standing up and walking around and taking their glove off, putting it back on?
Seager at the plate, and it's a strike. I was talking to Kadire earlier, and it's not just defensively that it affects you all that time out in the field, because now you're coming up to bat instead of once every half hour, 25 minutes. Maybe an hour and 10 minutes between at bats.
And that's a long time because you've gotten out of that rhythm of seeing a pitcher on the mound. How does that ball come out of the hand? And staying mentally sharp.
And that's what Michael said. Every at bat feels like it's your first at bat of the night.
It's almost like a pinch hit at bat for your first at bat. Then you go up the second time. It could be the 3rd or 4th inning. And so forth and so on. And that's why you see the inconsistencies with the fielders and the fielding averages and also at the plate.
White's ahead of Seager, 0-2. Ichiro at first base with 1 out. We saw a moment ago a demonstration, an example of why Ichiro has 3,800 plus hits between Japan and the United States. Goes down and gets a ball about ankle high and squares it up the center field.
But that goes back to what we were talking about. That's his bat path and style.
He takes off, pitch out, throw is high, and Tulowitzki inadvertently bats it into right center field, so it's going to be an error on Rosario. And Ichiro at third. You hate that, in that it was a great job by the dugout calling the pitch out, and just an errant throw.
Just a high throw. Troy tried to get up, understanding that Ichiro was sliding into him. And the ball's tailing away towards the second base side. I'm just hope I can catch it and come back down with it.
And now the infield pulled in with 1 out. Seager with a 2-2 count. Need a punch out if he can get one.
Well, he knows as soon as he lets go of this ball that it was too high. We're his 2nd error this season.
Alex White, his strikeout pitch typically is a split finger. Seager, a 3rd round pick out of North Carolina. Single and a strikeout tonight. This will get the job done. Left center field. Cargo calling for it. Ichiro tagging, and here's the throw. It's on line, and it is not quite in time. Maybe anybody but Ichiro, and Cargo would have thrown him out. I'm surprised he was that close because the ball was fairly deep.
Yeah, but the way that Carlos Gonzalez worked behind the baseball, kids, if you're watching at home, notice where his momentum is before he catches the ball. It is behind the ball, so when he gets ready to release it, he can bring the arm through and have the extra oomph behind the ball to get it to home, but Ichiro still has the wheels.
It's hard to tell. Did he get him on the back?
No, he missed him, but it was much closer than you would have ever expected.
No, that's a great way of describing it, Huey. I never thought it would be much of a play. But Cargo has that unbelievable arm.
And Ichiro had to slide out and reach back with his left hand. That's how close it was.
22nd RBI for Seager, who leads the club. 1-1 on Smoke, and that error so costly. On the stolen base by Ichiro, the ball that sailed from Willeen Rosario, and now it's 3-0 Seattle. The Rockies without a hit through 5 innings. Two and two on Smoke. And he got him. In the inning, a single, a stolen base, an error. And he sacked fly. It's an unearned run. Mariners up 3-0. Millwood the story. Not allowed a hit through 5 innings. Only been a couple of hard hit balls. The only base runner for the Rockies, Dexter Fowler, walked in the 3rd, and he will lead it off in the 6th. The Rockies and Root Sports are teaming up for the Games of Green campaign with Bike to the Game Sunday versus the Mariners. Ride your bike to the secure lot at 21st and Blake Street outside of Coors Field for your chance to win great prizes. For more information, visit coloradorockies.com/green. Fowler, White, Marco Scutaro. Kevin Millwood, a non-roster invitee to the Seattle Mariners camp. Once he made the roster, he's being paid $1 million for his services in 2012. Highest paid Mariner, Felix Hernandez, not pitching in this series. He got beat up
2 days ago.
Yeah, a couple days ago in Cleveland. Hernandez making almost $20 million this year. Ichiro is making $18 million. And that is gloved by Smoke over to Millwood.
Thought it had a chance for a moment.
Yeah, I thought it did as well. The interesting thing about Ichiro this year is that he will be a free agent at the end of the year. And again, he's not quite as prolific putting up the numbers as he was even a couple of years ago. He's an iconic figure in the Pacific Northwest. He very much wants 3,000 hits in the United States.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get it in Seattle, though, because that's a lot of money to be paying a guy that is going towards 40. And when you're trying to go young, but there's no denying what he's done in the States.
It'll be interesting who his suitors are. Each will be 39 in October. You know, it'd be fitting right now. Alex White with a 1-1 count, who got the pinch hit last night, wasn't allowed to swing the bat. If Alex White breaks up this no-no,
that would be fitting, because last night it was just rest the bat on your shoulder and hope for a walk. Different plans in this at bat.
Jaso tried to freeze it in the zone just off the plate. 2-1. Bill Wood, 164 career wins. And that's off the plate. 3-1. 37-year-old right-hander.
He's fourth in active pitchers as far as innings pitched, strikeouts, games started, and 8th in wins.
He does own a no-hitter. Back in 2003, April of 2003, no-hit the Giants. A lot of success against the Rockies through the years. 8-3, a 3.30 ERA.
And 14 starts. His last start against the Rockies was back in June of '05.
This is bounce to third. Seager goes across to Smoke. 2 outs.
Did you see Kerry Wood retired today?
Kerry Wood did retire today. Eric Wedge had some very nice things to say about Kerry Wood. Of course, Kerry Wood pitched for Eric Wedge in Cleveland.
Yeah, I played with Kerry in 2000 with the Cubs. He's my son Kyle's favorite player. Well, yeah, he went out today. He retired, but he went out with a strikeout in his last good batter face.
You know what? Good for him, and it's amazing to think that Kerry Wood broke in the same year, full year, rookie year with Todd Helton, and just edged Helton for the Rookie of the Year in '98. I think in large part,
yes,
because of that 20 strikeout performance.
I would agree, and in a market in Chicago where bigger visibility.
Well, WGN, their
right.
games are on nationally, and that's not to take anything away from Kerry Wood. Kerry Wood had a fine career as a starter and a reliever. You just wish, in a perfect world, as a baseball fan, when the great ones, the guys blessed with tremendous ability, like a Kerry Wood, like a Mark Pryor, that they were also fortunate enough to have good health throughout their career, and that's something that certainly Pryor battled, and even
right.
Kerry Wood quite a bit.
Yeah, Kerry had the elbow.
Ground ball deep in the hole, cut off by Seager. He bobbles.
This is going to be an interesting ruling, Drew.
Yeah.
Because if he catches it, he's going to have to spin and make the throw. But with a no-hitter intact in the 6th inning, I wouldn't be surprised if he gives him an error.
Well, if we were at Safeco, I would think that would be how it would lean, and it shouldn't be judged as such. But you know, Scudero's a decent runner, slightly better than average. If he wheels and turns there, I think he's probably going to get him out. We'll see how it's scored. More importantly, see if the Rockies can take advantage. Pacheco at the plate.
You can see it out of the end of his glove, a snow cone. Just caught it when he went to transfer it to his bare hand. Just fell out.
They're still looking at it. Pacheco with an 0-1. And back up the middle, and that'll make this one easy. Scudero heading to third's got to get down. Out at third base. Cut down by Michael Saunders. Well, the Rockies have broken up the no-hitter, but Marcos Scudero, trying to go first to third on Michael Saunders, is cut down. Takes the bat out of Carlos Gonzalez's hands.
Still lead the Rockies 3-0. Well, with interleague play, we wanted to get some players' thoughts on it. And Jeremy Guthrie, he's new to the National League this year. He played his past 6 seasons in the American League, so he only has logged 22 at-bats as a starting pitcher. Here's what he had to say about interleague play.
I don't think it'll change a whole bunch. You know, it's going back to a balanced schedule, getting the leagues even, and you know, I think it's just more fair overall for each team, and you know, it's a nice balance. So it'll be a little bit of a change, but I think you know, you play 162 games, and if 30 of them are against the other league, you know, it's not a huge difference from whatever the 18 that we play currently.
Well, Guthrie has just 9 at-bats so far this season for the Colorado Rockies. He's yet to record a hit in a National League Colorado Rockies uniform. However, he does have 2 hits in his career, so I'm pretty sure he's going to get another one this year, guys.
All right, Jenny back live. John Jaso with ball down the right field line that's touched by a fan, so that will be a ground rule double leading off for Jaso in the 7th inning. 3-0 Seattle.
Right inside the bag at first base. And hooking away from Todd. Paul Schreiber dancing out of the way of that ball, but fan reaches over and stops it. Automatic double. Can't do that.
Mike Carp at the plate. White has pitched well. Millwood has been terrific. Go back to that last inning. In that situation, you have to be safe, in my mind, standing up if you're Marcos Scudero. And Marcos trying to make something happen. You can't make the first or third out at third base. And the Rockies are down 3-0. There'd be 2 on. The tying run's coming up, and Carlos Gonzalez, who leads you in every statistical category offensively.
Yeah, and you just started to figure out Kevin Millwood. You got the infield single from Scudero. Jordan Pacheco hits the ball up the middle. And the other thing is the momentum that Michael Saunders has as he comes to pick up the ball. And he's got a strong arm. It's part of the scouting reports you go over before a ball game. That ball's in front of him. That's on Marco.
Tulowitzki will throw out Karp, and moving up to third is John Jaso. Time for our Excel high efficiency inning. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. Strikeout of Ryan. Millwood caught looking, and then Dustin Ackley with a ground ball to Todd Helton. Now White gets over, does his job. 1-2-3 fifth inning. White has pitched well. See if he can work out of this. Brendan Ryan at the plate.
Watch the squeeze.
And White's hitting about $150.
And that's why I'm saying it with Brendan Ryan at the plate. A 1-0 count.
Here it comes. It's a suicide squeeze. It goes foul. Yeah, good call, Huey.
Well, it was set up perfectly for Eric Wedge to put the suicide squeeze on. A hitter hitting 153 and Brendan Ryan, 1-0 count. You're assuming a fastball is coming. The runner at third, and Jaso, he takes off when that front foot of the pitcher hits the ground because he can't change where he's throwing the baseball.
You dare to do it back to back?
Yeah, I've seen it before. Do it again.
Ryan looked like he was almost trying to be too fine with that bunt. He just got to get it in play on a suicide squeeze on the ground. And the Rockies thinking the same way. They pitch out 2-1, and now the probability goes up again.
Goes back into the Mariners' favor. Now does Eric Wedge put it on? I would look for it again.
Fouled off. 2-2.
And the reason I would have looked for it again is because you don't call back-to-back pitch outs. But Eric decided not to go that route. He give a chance to Brendan Ryan. Ryan is hitting 148 with runners in scoring position. So even worse than his regular average.
105 on the road.
I don't remember him being that bad of a hitter when he was with St. Louis. Now I know he was not a 300 hitter, but 240 to 250 hitter, if memory serves me correct, without looking up his numbers. I don't remember him hitting below 200.
Yeah, even better than that, a 256 lifetime hitter. Hit 248 last year with the Mariners. Another 2-2. Strike three. That's an enormous strikeout. Alex White fans Brendan Ryan, and that'll bring up Kevin Millwood with Jaso stuck at third.
6th strikeout on the evening for Alex White in painting location. Ryan was looking for the slider away, and that locked him up.
Millwood 0 for 2, and that's high at 95 miles an hour. Alex White has allowed 6 hits, no walks. He has struck out, as Jeff just mentioned, 6 batters. He hit Brendan Ryan earlier in the ballgame. Now it's getting late. Rockies in the bottom of the 7th will have Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Helton. against Millwood. Rockies got their first 2 hits of the game last inning. Boy, the velocity tonight, 93 to 96. A lot of 95s and a few 96s, and the 2-seamer 91, 92.
Yeah, and he's not really sacrificing any movement. When you jump up in speed, normally it's to the more of the 4-seam variety. But even at 93 to 96 tonight, you'll still see the sink.
Just off the plate, 2-2. Time for tonight's CenturyLink high-speed pitch, fast speed, and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. Alex White, 96. Kevin Millwood, 92. And White summons Willeen Rosario. Troy Tulowitzki wants in on the conversation. Matt Reynolds.
The next Purple Monday is the 28th against the Astros. That's a doubleheader day. We're purple twice as often.
Strike 3. Good pitch. Alex White on a slider. Fans. Kevin Millwood, his 7th punch out. Jaso, a leadoff double, stranded at third. Rockies trailing 3-0. The 5th part of the order coming up. Cargo, Tulo, and Tom. This is brought to you by College Invest. Are you saving for college or just talking about it? By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by your Colorado Hyundai dealers and America's most fuel-efficient car company, Hyundai. Alex White gets a slap on the backside from skipper Jim Tracy. Christian Friedrich walks over, so apparently White is done after 7 innings, 7 real good innings. Bob Apodaca going over.
No walks.
No walks. Casper Wells has come in defensively in left field for Mike Karp.
Better range, stronger arm, go with the defense with the lead late in the game.
Millwood against Cargo. Strike one. Cargo a roller to first and a soft fly ball to left field.
Just 75 pitches for Kevin Millwood.
You know, Cargo in his first couple of at-bats, and he's not alone with what I'm about to say, doesn't look like he's able to pick the ball up tonight from Millwood.
Yeah, Kevin must be hiding the baseball. It'll be interesting to hear what the hitters have to say after the game. Was it where the arm was? Was the ball coming out from behind him? How did it look?
This is sharply hit, but the second baseman Ackley is there.
Or is there just late movement?
Toyota Talk will continue in the postgame show. Text Toyota space your comments to 720-720. Tulowitzki fouled out to first and hit a ground ball to short. They're shading Tulowitzki toward right center field. And he fouls that pitch off.
Yeah, and they're playing him to pull on the infield. So an interesting alignment, because you look to see where the third baseman is playing towards the line. I mean, Brendan Ryan, here's where you would normally be in that spot if you were straight up.
Here's the 0-1. $34,887 at Coors Field this evening. Mariners in for 3. Then the Rockies, after the Sunday affair, will fly to Miami to take on the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. Slider for a strike. First peek at the new stadium for the Marlins.
And Ozzie Guillen and that crew.
I see Giancarlo Stanton, Jose Reyes, Hanley Ramirez.
And Mark Burley will throw the first night against Jamie Moyer.
Those guys can tell some stories now. Fouled off and out of play.
We'll talk about a guy that pitches like he's double parked, Mark Burley.
Love watching Mark Burley pitch.
He has a plan when he gets out there, how he's going to attack the hitters. That play he made a couple years ago with the opening day down the first baseline is still one of the more incredible plays I've seen.
Well, it's wild because he flipped between his legs, running across the first base line. And when it happened, you said, you know what? There's not going to be a better defensive play all year.
No.
And there wasn't.
There wasn't.
Two and two. One out. Nobody on for the Rockies in the 7th. The only base runners, Fowler walked in the 3rd, stole a base with 1 out. Then a strikeout to Alex White. Scudero grounded out. Then last inning with 2 outs. An infield hit by Scudero. A base hit up the middle by Jordan Pacheco, the first clean hit. But Scudero, with 2 outs trying to go first to third, was thrown out by Michael Saunders. That's it.
Just 2 hard hit balls prior to that inning. Line out by Jordan Pacheco, and also a line out from Helton in the 2nd inning. Very economical with his pitches tonight for Kevin.
I got a stat that may surprise you. Maybe not surprise you, but maybe some of our viewers. Do you know the Rockies offensively have struck out the second fewest times in the National League?
That does surprise you if you hadn't seen that before, because you would have thought they would have been somewhere in the middle of the pack.
That's what I would have thought. Strike three on Troy. Mentioned strikeout, and then you get one. The last
way to jinx him.
3 strikeouts have all been caught looking.
Kadire, Rosario in the 5th, and now Troy here in the 7th. Backup slider. Inside corner. And it was a strike.
Helton the line out to left and a fly ball to left. Strike one on Todd. Millwood's been filling up the strike zone tonight.
Seems like every time you look up, he's 0-1, 0-2, 1-2.
Well, he 3-hit the Yankees in his last outing for 7 innings.
And this is exactly how he pitched them in that game. And that game was in Yankee Stadium. This is the 4th stop on a 4-city tour for Seattle.
Yeah,
he started in New York, went to Boston for 2, Cleveland for 2, and now here in Colorado.
Nobody travels more than the Mariners in a normal season, and this year they began the campaign in March playing 2 games in Japan. They counted against the Oakland A's.
Yeah, and remember, then they had to come back and finish up their spring training schedule because the Rockies played them at the end of March after they had played or the beginning of April, excuse me, when they'd already played 2 regular season games in Tokyo.
A strange schedule. And again, the Mariners always travel more than anybody else because way up there in the Pacific Northwest, and when they go to Tampa, they got to stop halfway and camp in,
I believe it was over
St. Louis.
50,000 miles they flew last year, which was the leader compared to the White Sox, who were right around 24,000-25,000 miles for a course of a season.
And Todd hits it in the air to left field again. Wells trying to track it down. Will have to bail before the wall. Foul ball. They already played in Tampa this year. Coming back home, that flight was in excess of 6 hours.
1 or 2 fuel stops.
Stopped for a concert in Branson. That guy was clean shaven. He was on the flight and looked like Santa Claus when they arrived. All right, enough.
They go to, in August, they go play the Yankees, Baltimore, and then fly back and play Los Angeles on a 10-day, 9-game
and those
tour.
The Yankee-Boston series were 2 games each.
And so was the Cleveland series.
When Millwood's missed tonight, he hasn't missed by much. Look on the Ford strike zone. That's called strike 3. Probably not going to get much of an argument. 3-2 on Todd. And a ground ball to Ackley. Boy, Millwood has been unbelievable. 7 shutout innings, 7 innings of 2-hit baseball. Mariners 3-0.
Colorado Rockies not favorable. The Mariners lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the 8th. Well, we've been taking you down memory lane between the Mariners and the Rockies for several series dating back to the 90s. It's time to flashback now to 1999. Ken Griffey Jr. was in his final year of his 11 seasons in Seattle. Jim Leland and Lou Piniella were the managers. And for Terry Shumpert, it was a home run for the Colorado Rockies. He had 30 home runs in just 5 seasons, so that was one to remember. How about Alex Rodriguez? You can't forget him in a Mariners uniform. It was just 3 teams ago, but he blasted one out against Colorado in 1999. We will continue the trip down memory lane tomorrow on Root Sports. And thanks for all your tweets on Fan Friday. We'll do it again next Friday. Drew?
All right, Jenny, thank you. This is Matt Reynolds pitching to Dustin Ackley, and it's a 1-2 count on Ackley. So Alex White goes 7 innings. He gives up 3 runs, 2 earned on 7 hits. Did not walk a batter and struck out 7. Did hit a guy. All in all, normally that's a winning performance. He's on the wrong end right now because of the job Kevin Millwood's done. But Alex White, a very strong outing.
Yeah, 98 pitches, 66 for strikes, attacked the strike zone, made pitches when he needed to. But you're right, Kevin Millwood's just been better. But Alex White should be happy with his performance here at Coors Field. Matt Reynolds, one of the few in the bullpen that's had some rest. The last time he toed the rubber was back on the 13th of May against the Dodgers in 2/3 of an inning in that game.
And that slider's fouled off again. Good pitch. Got him with the heater. So Ackley is gone 0 for 4 tonight. He had a 13-game hitting streak coming in. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Here's that great throw by Cargo that nearly got Ichiro at the plate. Sweep tag by Rosario. Just a smidgen late. Our Coors Light Freeze Can. Saunders takes a strike. Saunders a first inning triple, and he would come around on a Kyle Seager base hit. Ground ball to Todd Helton. Todd's going to race to the bag.
Well, this is set up perfectly for Matt Reynolds and being able to work primarily against left-handed hitters with Ackley, Saunders, Suzuki, Seager.
Dougie just handed me a stat which I think tells part of the story of the first 38 games for the Rockies, Huey. Alex White did not walk a batter, as we discussed. Only the 3rd time a starting pitcher for the Rockies has not walked a batter this year. Nicasio on April 18th, Nicasio on May 12th. I said this yesterday. Nicasio with the control issues, that was an aberration last night. He's normally a big-time strike thrower.
Yeah, the career high for Nicasio twice this year have come against the Diamondbacks, 5 in a game. And yesterday, you can give him somewhat of a mulligan because of getting hit on the backside and the leg. He said he was having trouble pushing off after the game. But when you're sitting at either 2nd or 3rd in the National League in walks, that tells you something.
Ground ball to Todd. And a good feed to Matt Reynolds. Nice job by Reynolds. 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. If the bats can come alive, Kadire will lead it off against Millwood, down 3-0. Lexus Look Back, brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Kevin Millwood has hit every location tonight. He's kept the Rockies off balance with a good slider curveball mix. And Seattle got a run in the first, and then they would get a solo home run from Carp in the second inning to make it 2-0. In the sixth inning, a sac fly. Despite a great throw from Carlos Gonzalez, Ichiro scores. He had stolen second and moved up to third on a throwing error by Willeen Rosario. And this ball's popped up. Kadire swings at the first pitch. Justin Smoke. And with one out, that'll bring up Rosario.
Well, the first 20,000 fans on June 2nd will receive a Carlos Gonzalez t-shirt courtesy of King Soopers. Get your tickets today. Call 1-800-388-ROCK for tickets. Courtesy of our good friends from King Soopers. The last time Kevin Millwood went more than 7 innings was back on August 28, 2010.
Been a while. Now, last year he's in the minor leagues until the Rockies called him. He was at Pawtucket with the Boston Red Sox organization. Here's something that amazes me. That's a 2-strike count now on Rosario. Last year, Seattle posted a 168 ERA in 18 games against the National League. 168. It's a single season interleague record. How many games do you think they won? Now, Huey, you know the answer to this. They had a 168 ERA over 18 games. You think, oh man, they probably won 15 of them.
15-3, right? No.
They were 9-9. That's how bad their offense was the last 2 years. 2011, 2010, the Mariners were last in all of baseball in runs scored. And this year, they're 4th from last, and they're looking at it up in Seattle as great progress.
Yeah, and their batting average is down at 230. I mean, they're still waiting for that impact bat. That's the one thing that talking to scouts is still not in the pipeline for the Mariners. But they're hoping that Montero might be that guy.
Strike 3. Fooled him, threw him a fastball. Looked like Rosario was looking breaking ball. He has struck out 3 times tonight against Millwood. That's 7 punch outs for Millwood.
Well, he was looking for the breaking pitch because the first 2 times that's what he was struck out on. But the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo shows that it was a 4-seam fastball.
And now that's 4 straight backward Ks. 5 of the 7 strikeouts tonight have been caught looking. Rosario, a swinging strikeout in the 3rd, and then Alex White struck out trying to bunt. So 5 of the 6 times that guys were trying to swing, 5 times the bats left on the shoulder. 1-0 on Dexter. 0 for 1 and a walk. And here comes Ackley. Boy, Millwood, another 1-2-3 inning. Millwood flashing back to his Atlanta days. 3-0 as we go to the 9th. Online only at Southwest.com. And by Jack in the Box, right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club combo for $4.99 plus tax. Good crowd at Coors Field, in excess of 34,000. The Rockies, however, being shut out 3-0 by the Mariners. Top of the 9th inning. That means time to check in with Joel Klatt. Hey, Joel.
What's going on, Drew? Hey, just another run-of-the-mill start for Kevin Millwood. How about this, what he's got going on? Just a couple of hits for the Colorado Rockies. Plus, white noise. This guy, Alex White, he's pitching well, too, but it's just white noise in Coors Field right now because of how well Kevin Millwood is pitching. We're going to get to all of that in the Toyota postgame show. That's coming up next, Drew.
All right, Joel. We'll check with you in a little while. Kyle Seager will lead things off against Matt Reynolds. Second inning of work for Reynolds. Seager, Smoke, and Jaso toward the gap in left center field. Seager around second, and he's hunting a triple, and he's going to have one. Second triple of the night for the Mariners. Seager with his first triple of the year.
End of his career. You could see why Chris Warren, the advanced scout for the Rockies, was so high on Kyle Seager and his ability to hit. 2 RBIs tonight, and now a first career triple.
Justin Smoke from the right side fouls it off.
Smoke hitting just 205 right-handed, but a better hitter right-handed than he is left-handed. Has more power from the left side, but a big hole in his swing under the hands. And he cut fastballs right in this area, right there. You can work it and get him to swing over the top.
Oh, 0-2 on Smoke.
He tried to go there.
He got the strikeout on Smoke. One gone. John Jaso coming up. Here's our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Well, it was the other guys in the second inning. Mike Carr, but no doubter to center field on a 3-1 pitch from Alex White. That's a shot there. That was about 430, 440. Jaso takes a strike. Jaso is 1 for 3, doubled in the 7th inning. Got stranded at third. And it's 0-2.
Doesn't look comfortable at all on the first 2 pitches from Reynolds.
Slider missed. Close. 2-2.
Throw the slider down and away. Now you have him set up for it. Just didn't get it there.
Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do score 7 or more in a ball game, Text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. 2-2, 3-2. Casper Wells will be next. The first at bat for Wells. Came in a couple of innings ago defensively in left field for Mike Carp. And this is in the air to left. Cargo cutting over, makes the catch, and this will be good enough to get the run home because he was moving to his left and was able to get in great position to throw that baseball. John Jaso with his 10th RBI, and the Mariners lead at 4-0.
And it went deeper than the other ball, the sac fly from Kyle Seager to score Ichiro. That time it kept going. No way for Carlos Gonzalez to work behind it and have the momentum coming home.
Josh Rennick will come in, 2 outs in the 9th inning, 4-0 Seattle. College is important for your children's future. Start saving for their future right now at College Invest. And remember, your contributions are tax deductible on your Colorado State income taxes. You can open a savings account for as little as $25. CollegeInvest.org. Is that natural? Got a natural hair color there, Jeff?
No, but I'm enjoying the purple.
So Josh Rennicke will try to get the final out here in the 9th inning. Casper Wells. Matt Reynolds goes an inning and 2/3. Gives up a run on 1 hit, struck out 2.
The 16th appearance for Josh Rennicke.
And Josh done a good job. The league's hitting just 181 against Rennicke, which is the best mark of any Rocky pitcher, starter or reliever.
Well, that's why you're seeing him used now later into the ball game.
And Rennicke strikes out Casper Wells. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies need a significant rally. Kevin Millwood has been masterful. It's allowed just 2 hits. They both came in the 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies need a big rally. During the month of May, Root Sports looking for the biggest Rockies fans in Idaho and Wyoming. Tell us why you're a fan. Enter to win the ultimate fan experience. It'll include travel for 2. For you and a guest to Denver, you'll watch the Rockies in action from the Root Sports Suite. We'll put you up. We'll give you breakfast, plenty of meals, in fact, in a Root Sports prize pack. To enter, visit RockyMountain.rootsports.com. Ooh. I like it. I haven't seen that jersey before. A Rocks addict. Eric Young Jr. is going to pinch hit for Josh Renicky. Trying to ignite a big rally against Kevin Millwood. And he takes strike 1.
Eric on the season 2 for 11 as a pinch hitter. Both those hits have come hitting from the left side.
Lucas Litke on the left side throwing for Seattle. And that's for Carlos Gonzalez if it gets there.
Well, they used their closer yesterday, Brandon Lee, in the loss to the Cleveland Indians. He gave it up.
Well, it's never good if Brandon Lee is pitching against Cleveland.
No.
He's had 9 save opportunities in his career against Cleveland. He's blown 7 of them.
He threw 7 strikes and close to 30 pitches.
That's not good either.
No.
And Eli takes it on the elbow and he reaches. Look at that, huh? Trying to get the club going. He hung in there. He took it for the team, as we learned to say in baseball from the time we're about 8 years old on. Then yelled at the dugout, "Let's go." Yeah, I mean, listen, they could make a case.
And he didn't try to get out of the way.
He didn't. He leaned into it.
Marco Scudero did that earlier this year when he was hit by a pitch. Topped up, said the same thing to the dugout. Well, that is much easier said than done.
And listen, he wasn't showing his elbow at a curveball at 75. Not that you want to get hit by that. Scudero, dive by Millwood, throw to first. What a play at third by Seager.
Now, is Millwood hurt?
No, he's 37. He's just taking his time getting up. What an effort by Millwood.
But even a better effort from Kyle Seager. Because when this got by Kevin Millwood, I thought it was a base hit. He dives for it, but then Kyle one-handed on the money to first base. The layout, the dive, distraction, not a problem.
Eric Young at second. Jordan Pacheco has the only clean hit for the Rockies today. A single up the middle in the 6th inning after an infield hit by Marco Scudero. And they were actually deciding whether Scudero's infield hit was a hit or an error when Pacheco singled up the middle, and it probably gave them the impetus to go ahead and give Scudero the infield hit, because at the time you're in the 6th inning and Millwood's throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah, you don't want to give him a gift hit. That's why those are tough decisions for official scores.
This ball up the middle, and it's cut off by Ryan. 2 outs. Two outs, and Carlos Gonzalez coming up. Carlos is 0 for 3 tonight against Millwood.
And this outing from Kevin reminds me of the Barry Zito outing earlier this year here at Coors Field.
Well, this has been a flashback performance for Kevin Millwood, who's had a wonderful career. But in this day and age of 6 innings and handed over to the bullpen, so unusual to see a guy who started things pitching with 2 outs in the 9th inning, much less a guy like Kevin Millwood, who was very close to retirement last year.
Found a second or third life. Even 108 pitches, 72 for strikes, just 36 balls.
Two and nothing on Gonzalez. There have been only 9 complete game shutouts of the Rockies at Coors Field since it opened its doors in 1995. Barry Zito, who Jeff mentioned, the last to do it on April the 9th of this year. Young at third. And a delayed strike call by Mike Everett. It's 2-2. Caught
enough of
the upper portion of the strike zone.
And when you're pounding the strike zone, those that look just off will be called strikes.
2-2. Eric Wedge, you get tied into something like this from an emotional standpoint as well. Wedge in charge of 25 men, not just one, but he wants to give Millwood every opportunity to complete this thing. You have Tulowitzki on deck. I think if it gets to where the tying runs it at the plate, that's when he'd be forced to make a move.
You go left on left.
Here's the 3-2. And it is pulled right at Smoke. Ball game over. Kevin Millwood, a Rocky last year for 9 starts, has a 2-hit complete game shutout of Colorado at Coors Field. His last complete game shutout almost 9 full years ago when he shut out the San Diego Padres. His 6th career complete game shutout. Tonight's Delivery of the Game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Visit jimmyjohns.com to find a location near you. Speaking of location, Kevin Millwood, tremendous location with his fastball, his curveball, and his slider all evening long. So Kevin Millwood has been a shining light in a difficult road trip for the Mariners. He beat the Yankees, now he's beat the Rockies. 4-0 the final. Stick around. The Toyota postgame show is next.